I was born from an unknown royal house. My parents gave me a name meaning victory, which I believe, considering my life events, was quite fitting. I was in my 30s when I was married to King Boudicca of the Iceni. My people were a rich and cultivated people. We started issuing coinage around 10 BCE. This is just one of the many reasons we were a leading tribe in East Anglia. My dear husband thought he would save our kingdom by accepting overlordship from the Romans when they invaded. He was sure that by becoming a client king to Nero and by paying a tax to Rome, he would avoid disaster. Little did he know that regardless of his efforts, the Romans would not only unleash tragedy on our people, but on our daughters and I as well. When Boudicca died, there was no male heir to the throne, so he left the kingdom to our daughters and Nero, his patron, expecting that his wishes for me to rule our wonderful kingdom would come to pass. Instead, the Roman soldiers came to me and my people as the allies we thought them to be. They even accepted our hospitality, but then they turned on us. They stole our goods and kidnapped our citizens to be used as hostages and slaves, and they reduced the status of the Iceni. To top it all off, they refused me my place on the throne. The Romans did not agree with the Celtic belief that women could rule and be free. When I objected to their disrespect and blatant refusal of my position, I was publicly flogged, and my daughters were raped by Roman slaves. After the Romans committed these atrocities, I enlisted the help of our neighboring tribes, including the Triavantes, Coritani, and the Catavaloni, who were all insulted by the Romans in some way. In 60 AD, I got on my chariot and went to war, determined to show the Roman legionaries that their heavy armor and weaponry was simply the defense of feeble men just as weak as their womenfolk. The silly Romans were merely hares and foxes trying to rule dogs and wolves. Aminius Marcellinus once said, "A whole troop of foreigners could not withstand a single Celt if he called his wife to his assistance. The wife is more formidable." I fit this notion quite well. Cassius Dio, a Roman historian, said I was a woman of enormous frame, terrifying with a rough and shrill voice. My brilliant red hair fell to my knees, and when I grasped a spear, I struck fear in all who seen me. I wore a great twisted necklace made of gold called a torque. This necklace was a symbol of my authority as a warrior chieftain. If the Romans had had even a bit of brains in their heads, they would never have been so arrogant and crude to me and mine. I was pissed. I had revenge to exact, and I intended to make sure the Romans felt my fury. Our great numbers were both a help and a hindrance in our battles against the Romans. Dio described our army as 120,000 strong. We had at least 10 times that of the Roman soldiers. Unfortunately, the real numbers are unknown. In no time, we had conquered Colchester and the Roman Emperor Claudius's temple there. This had once been a great Celtic center belonging to the Triavantes, but the Romans seized it previously. Nearly every Roman that fought us at Colchester died. That was one of our many victories. And disappointingly, over time, I found it difficult to control my soldiers. Our many triumphs went to their heads. At one point, things got so out of hand in London that they started skewering Roman soldiers, or Roman women lengthwise. Our numbers got so large and so unorganized that the Romans eventually conquered us, but not before I left my bloody mark across southern England. I was the only Celtic leader to do so. I've been credited as being a priestess of Andrasta, which makes perfect sense, knowing that she is the goddess of battle and victory. I have also been referred to as a romanticized modern version of Joan of Arc, and I am still the lasting image of Celtic female power. I was so determined and proud that I chose to drink poison instead of being captured alive by the Romans. I would never allow those arrogant bastards to decide my fate. I, a woman, would choose when, how, and where I would die, just as I chose who to marry and how to live.
Wow, Boudicca.
Amen.